Hey everyone, welcome to another review here on Go Manga.
No!
Alright, as always, I'm your host, the Frozen Stratos. Here with me today we have...
Cinder Blaze.
I'm Aresol. I watched this episode 4 times.
What? Well, alright, I guess we'll get into why. But also, we're going to be reviewing episode 1 of Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger. And you know what? I thought this was really good. I thought this was a very enjoyable first start, and it's fresh, it's different, and I don't know, it felt good. It felt right. Where are you guys landing here?
Yeah, I hate this. No, that's why I watched this so much. No, I really enjoyed this. This was a lot of fun. We kind of mentioned it towards the tail end of our watch along, but I dig that they only introduced 2 Rangers.
Yeah.
In the first episode, I don't think we've ever done that before.
I agree.
And it's weird, but it's kind of endearing how mismatched of a team they are.
Like, on all fronts, it's like, you know, the different species, they all look very different, and I feel like, you know, once the whole team comes together, I'm sure it'll be a situation of, you know, sort of like a motley crew, and visually they will represent that, and I like that a lot.
Yeah. And I like that there's a reason for that, though.
Yeah.
Because the scientists were studying other Sentai, so they just cobbled together a bunch of different bits and pieces from other teams and put them into one team.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense why aesthetically they don't really match with one another, but overall they still kind of form one cohesive Sentai.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
Is it a cobbled together mess of some of the coolest looking Sentai out there? Yeah. Why is it that way? Because someone cobbled it together out of all the cool looking ones. Like, it feels like cyclical, but it makes sense because someone actually in universe chose it that way.
And seeing his parents in the background, flashback.
Now you can't get upset at me for saying stepfoots instead of footsteps.
Yeah. Okay. Seeing his parents in that flashback and seeing how big of dorks they are, like, totally makes sense that they'd just be like, these look cool. Let's make our own.
It also makes sense that they would make that kid that is a huge dork as well. So I do like that. I like that it did feel world building without explaining it to us. It just sort of happens and we live in it for a little bit. And that's what I really liked. Like, Alex, you said after we had watched it that it was a little slow, but I like establishing a status quo. I like living inside of a universe for a little bit. And for an anniversary show, that feels like something we're not always able to get.
Yeah, I mean, like, I was, like, looking back on this episode, I think it was paced a lot better than I thought it was. Because, like, if you kind of look back at, like, some of the other episodes, I think I referenced, like, Cure Major yesterday. I'm not sure if it was during the watch-along or maybe shortly afterwards. But, like, that took an episode 0 to kind of, like, fully, like, get going. Because it had, like, a lot of stuff that it, like, needed to push out in the first couple of episodes. But for this one, they introduced, like, the whole world in a very, like, easy, like, digestible way. Just, like, a little bit at a time. Because, like, they even, like, reference later on in the episodes, the villains are kind of, like, confused as to, like, what's happening as well. So, like, they're also figuring it out on their own, so we don't have to deal with the entire thing at once. So we're just kind of, like, you know, launched into, like, one particular, like, part of town that's being attacked, and 2 of the Rangers meet up, and we just kind of, like, deal with that small little story.
Yeah.
And I think it worked pretty well. Like, the only kind of, like, gripe I would have would be I didn't really like Zenkaiser at the very beginning. I thought like he was a bit too childish for me. Like it just didn't register considering he looks so old and he acts like you know. And I think I can tolerate it for now because like usually they just have like those really strong character tropes at the very beginning before they actually like mellow out some like the outrageous stuff and make them actual solid characters. And I think that for a cast that's probably gonna be as diverse as it is, to just have like one really strong personality at the center, even if it's something like I don't particularly like, would probably fit the team really well.
And
Yeah.
I'm going back and forth with this on my mind if I like this or not, but I found it interesting that immediately when the worlds collide, the two races are getting along until they start going bad, and then suddenly there's this divide. And yet, the kindness of our main character Zenkaiser, and just not even seeing it like not even saying, oh, you're a machine, you must be evil or something. Like he does away with the prejudice and is like, all right, you're helping, and now you're gonna be even more helpful. You're part of the team now. So to immediately cut through that prejudice, I feel like is one of the strengths that I really hung on to with that character. But also, it for in a kids show, I get it, but like everyone immediately turned on all the Kikainoids, and it's like, but all right.
Yeah, I think the scene where they were suddenly really scared, afraid of Jiran was maybe shot poorly, because there was a guy on the ground in front of him.
Oh.
So like maybe they were thinking he was gonna hit him with the rock, but I think it needed to be shot better. Like we need to see that he was standing
True,
in front
yeah.
of someone. But yeah, no, I totally get you there. I think it's really interesting that they have established that Kikaitopia has this class system
Yeah.
in place, and it seems like a lot of the chunk of their society that got merged with this world seems to be like the lower class citizens, whereas like a lot of our villains are the hoity-toity, like
Yeah.
Jiran referred to them as fat bots.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was neat. I also like that when you see all of the Kikairoids, is that what they're called? Kikainoids. Being transported into the world, you can see in the background our other rangers.
Yeah.
You can see Majin and Gaon, and then Vroom's sweeping into the enemy base.
Yeah, that's something I really liked. Like, you don't need to fully set these people up immediately at the beginning. You don't need to drop them in, have them say what they do and what their whole shtick is about in episode 1. You can have them in the background and show them a set dressing for a little bit, and then dive into them. I thought that was really great, and just set them up for later. And I feel like it really helps. It helps the Bandai side of things that one of the dudes is actually like a big robot, so we only need to talk about one so far. And that might have been, better on them in terms of like, whatever the mandates are for showing certain mecha and stuff. I just thought it was such a good idea. Also, the Kikainoid designs, they, a lot of the background ones, they do seem like, just cobbled together stuff they still have at the back lot. But some of the closer to screen ones, I do like the helmets, their whole aesthetic. It's really cool.
Yeah. The mob dudes are also idiots, and it clearly shows. And so I just found that pretty adorable.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm thinking about like the aesthetics. What do you guys think about like the henshin and stuff?
You know,
I like it.
yeah. I'd say, and with most shows, the music of the transformation device clashes with the music the background music, and it's only an issue right now because this is when they really start pushing it, and later on it'll quiet down. But I really do want to hear the music here because we have like the return of like one of the classic Sentai music artists. And I do not presume to know anything
From
about music, but I
yeah,
really liked it. It felt classic and also had little bits of modern I guess, like music things in there. It felt really good, especially for this show.
yeah. And going off of that, from what I have heard, the little jingle that plays whenever
Mhm.
they crank the gun and it starts going the dun dun dun.
Mhm.
Um, apparently that's an homage to Go Ranger.
Oh.
Uh, like the music that would play whenever they would, I don't know, head
Oh,
out.
that's
So
cool. That's really cool. I like that.
Yeah,
Um
I really just dug that part of it, especially like the whole energy that they kind of had after the henshin.
mhm.
It just kind of like pulled that part together. I think when they're like actually turning into their forms, it felt a little bit weird. It wasn't like the smoothest like little visual because I
Sure.
think they go on the little coin, they flip, and it's like I guess it's supposed to be like the coin that kind of like flips them face up, but it
It's
works, but it's not like
it's a
as good as some of the
gear
other
and then
ones.
it turns and then they turn into the dude.
Yeah, but then like it's like that awkward flip that just kind of like it's not.
Well,
It kind of like
like
took
the
me out of it.
camera goes from behind them to the front. I feel like there's still that connective tissue, right?
Yeah, but it's not like strong, and it's not like
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
It's not like when they kind of get like slammed or like the suit slammed into them or something, and it's just kind of like really fast paced and stuff. I thought it just got kind of slowed down there, but that's kind of how it felt for me. It's just like
Sure.
everything was kind of like going like super high energy, then it kind of lulls in the henshin,
Mhm.
and then we just kind of like go back into whatever the heck we were doing.
Yeah.
Uh,
And
and
also,
go ahead.
we didn't dive too deep into the lore and stuff, and I feel like, just due to everything we've seen, everything we've actually like covered on this channel, we sort of have an idea of what this show is about and like why all the Sentai are captured and stuff, and obviously it's in service of the gimmick, so yeah. Um I don't know, what interests me though is that the bad guys have all of the worlds
worlds.
swallowed up. Then what do the Zenkaigers have? And what's gonna happen when they free the other ones? Do they,
They
at the end of
have
it? Go ahead.
I just assume that similar to their powers, they have just gears that give them powers
Mm,
based on what Zenkaiser's parents saw from those
okay.
other Sentai. I don't think that they have like worlds or anything in them. I think
Hmm.
they're just like a representation of the powers, though.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Also, if you just want to dive really deep, they could also just be the villains, and they just set up this entire thing so their son could play Sentai.
Oh my god.
that, that would be amazing.
Like I say that, but like as it left my mouth, I'm just like, that's not even that
Hey,
far off.
they're gonna be the very first parents to give their son an incredible experience.
Yeah. They also gave him like a knockoff Navi.
That's
I was
true.
I mean like I think like Go Rangers also have like little bird dude with them, and that's just
I
like
thought
a
that was their
reference that
plane.
they
I don't know. I have no idea.
oh well I guess they had a giant bird with them, never mind.
um
Yeah.
yeah, it does look like Navi, but also it's an homage. It's fine that we stole our homework from earlier. Um All right. Did we have anything else to say about this episode before we dive into our comments?
Not too much. There's some, humorous moments here and there.
Yeah.
Jiron just shooting a dude the moment he gets his gun was really funny. And him dancing to the gun was pretty funny too. And I liked the little homages. I like that he said Aka Ninja's catchphrase when he got his powers. Even though I like many people did not like that aspect of the character, but
at least he said it with
catchphrase better.
Yeah,
he pulled it off way better than he ever did.
And this is gonna be a tangent, but it felt like he was just really holding it back. Like he didn't want to say it, but suddenly he was contractually obligated to. I meant Aka Ninja, not, our new guy, not Jiron.
Yeah.
So it felt like it physically hurt him. This felt natural. Yeah, I don't know. All right. Anything else before we head into our comment?
Let's jump right into it.
All right, cool. So we have a comment that comes from friend of the channel, Matt Hunt, who says, "Loved episode 1 so much. There's just so much to like. Big fan of the theme song, big fan of the zaniness, but mostly I'm a fan of a character development angle they're going with for the introduction. The main team over the first month. And there's also a mystery to solve with Kaito's parents and why this Earth wasn't able to be locked away. Can't wait for episode 2 this weekend. Keep up the good work, guys." Well, thank you, Matt. You bring up a good point, because in past shows, we haven't had a lot of threads to really keep us interested. It was, once again, based off of the characters that at least I drew my interest from. So now we have a lot of them to sort of chew on a little bit. A lot of interest. What do you want?
No, we did. Literally. The thing that was roping us along was little droplets of plot. We were looking for the plot. That was it. That was a little thing that was hooking us the entire way along. It's they gotta start something,
But here they did start something, and I agree with Matt here.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, guys, are we good? Are we good on episode 1?
Yep.
All right, cool. So guys, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the episode, hit the like button and subscribe if you want to hear more from us each week. Tell us in the comments down below what you thought about our thoughts about your thoughts, and while you're down there are links in the description to some brand new Zenkaiger merch that I designed myself. If you would like to get some of that, you can do it on TeePublic, where it is the place to get them. Also in the description are links to where you can help support the Black Lives Matter movement by donating money, signing petitions, and watching videos. Thank you so much for watching. Keep it.
Yep, see ya.
Bye.
Pretty good. Oh man, that was 20 minutes. 18-ish, but 20 minutes. I round up.
Yeah, we want to get a couple of those. We can't be doing that every week.
It's the first
actually
episode.
decent. Yeah.